Wild dogs burst forward like lightning, shattering the still rhythm of the grassland from the very first second. Without any display of force, a single perfectly timed cut is enough to make another predator hesitate and lose position. Their strength lies in the pack as the entire formation shifts direction in unison, closing the gap again and again, and tightening every space to maneuver. Half a beat too slow, and the advantage changes hands instantly. And when the chase reaches its decisive moment, which side will be the first to withdraw? African wild dogs are the tactical engine of the savannah, hunting in packs, shifting direction in unison, and tightening distance through discipline. Each adult typically weighs around 70 pounds, standing out for endurance and coordination, contributing to a remarkably high recorded success rate. And within the cycle of the ecosystem, the message is simple. The right rhythm at the right moment allows the pack to achieve strength far beyond any single individual. Dawn on the savannah brings more than light. It signals the start of a breathless pursuit. In the distance, small and medium-sized antelope, agile, alert, and always moving in herds, suddenly become the focus of a test of speed and discipline. When danger is detected, many antelope can reach speeds of over 50 miles per hour, leap nearly 10 feet into the air, and change direction repeatedly to erase their trail. Their strength lies in sharp reflexes and sudden turns. Yet their vulnerability lies there as well. A single moment of broken formation caused by uneven ground, dense brush, or the edge of shallow water can split the herd into smaller fragments. African wild dogs do not rely on a single burst of speed. The hunting pack keeps time like a clock. One group maintains pressure from behind, another cuts ahead, and one individual quietly reads the margin of error to seal off the retreat. They sustain long distances with endurance, turning every turn of the prey into an energy cost. The target finds itself surrounded from every side, with no clear escape. The outcome arrives quickly. The savannah returns to its natural stillness. The reward is shared evenly, in the right order, with discipline, just as the ecological cycle continues to move forward. Across the sunlit savannah, a confrontation between African wild dogs and spotted hyenas is not merely a struggle over a meal, but a contest of survival between discipline and raw power. When the hoarse laughter of a hyena echoes through the grassland, it sounds almost like a verdict passed on the hard-earned success of the wild dogs. The hyena steps in boldly, armed with a bite built for strength and the confidence of its imposing build. yet it underestimates the true nature of the children of the savannah. Almost instantly, the wild dogs shift roles, from seasoned hunters to disciplined guardians. They do not charge head-on. The pack divides into smaller units, forming a strategy of pressure and gradual wear. A few hold the rivals' attention at the front, while others circle behind, seizing brief openings before pulling away. Each time the hyena turns to confront them, the ring widens, only to tighten again from another angle. Individual strength begins to falter against seamless coordination. But the rules change when the balance of numbers shifts. With 2 or more hyenas present, the wild dogs withdraw with clear judgment, preserving their strength. Here, victory does not always belong to the strongest, but to the one that understands when to stand firm and when patience ensures survival. Migration season unfolds like a living river, rolling across the sunlit savannah. Hundreds of miles pass beneath pounding hooves, and each stride drains precious energy. Amid that sea of dust, African wild dogs do not need to be the fastest. A pack of more than 20 individuals only needs to be more enduring, more relentless, to follow the wildebeest, an animal renowned for strength and vigilance. Within the shifting chaos, they detect what the naked eye might miss: a slight limp, a fleeting slowdown, a fragile gap in formation. There is no roar, only brief signals and quiet coordination. The pack divides into smaller groups, running parallel to guide direction, then gradually narrowing the distance like a tightening net. The pursuit can stretch for several miles, with speeds at times rising to around 35 miles per hour. Yet the pack's rhythm remains steady. As the target tires, a few individuals close in from behind, sealing the circle with rapid, repeated advances. One misstep is enough for the balance to tip toward the more enduring side. In the natural world, African wild dogs stand among the most effective predators, with a recorded success rate of around 80%, higher than that of leopards and lions. On the savannah, the lion stands as a symbol of strength and authority. Yet even an apex predator must compete, as wild dogs and lions pursue the same prey and the same open ground for hunting. For an adult male lion, a pack of wild dogs represents a potential threat, not because they can overpower him, but because they disrupt the rhythm of the hunt and challenge territorial control. While patrolling boundaries, a lion may rush into the pack, focusing on any individual that falls out of sync and forcing the group to scatter, reinforcing territorial control. Faced with such risk, wild dogs rarely engage. They withdraw swiftly, circling wide, slipping through thorn brush and shallow depressions, reading the remaining signs and listening for distant roars. Survival depends on discipline, speed, and the instinct to disappear at the right moment. When the pursuit ends, the savanna reminds all that ecological balance always carries a cost and always a purpose. The oryx, also known as the gemsbok, is a true desert warrior of arid lands, standing nearly 4 feet at the shoulder and weighing close to 500 pounds. Its defining feature is a pair of long, straight horns, sharp like blades, enough to make many predators think carefully before moving in. For African wild dogs, this is rarely an easy hunt. They often spread wide to apply pressure, forcing the target to change direction repeatedly while searching for signs of weakness, slower rhythm, fading stamina, or youth. The goal is to draw the oryx into an unfavorable run, where a single moment of fatigue can open a narrow opportunity. When close enough, they surge in short, staggered advances, aiming at vulnerable points while avoiding direct contact with the horns. If the oryx turns to defend, the pack quickly scatters, compelling it to pivot and lose momentum, then presses in again as soon as an opening appears. Yet there are times when the oryx responds with fierce resistance and holds its ground, and that very risk can lead the wild dogs to withdraw in search of a safer target. The hunts of African wild dogs often reach the edge of the unpredictable, at times marked by remarkable success, at others by heavy cost. After a long pursuit beneath intense heat, the pack may drive antelope or buffalo toward the water's edge, where fatigue sets in more quickly. Yet they too must approach the river, to drink, to cut off escape, or to cross at a decisive moment. Beneath water that appears calm, crocodiles are masters of ambush. The surface muffles sound, obscures vision, and turns speed into something difficult to control. For that reason, the wild dogs rely on complete vigilance. Steps slow, muzzles angled toward the current, eyes scanning every ripple. A single lapse is enough for one individual to vanish beneath the surface in an instant. It happens in a heartbeat, fast, silent, and decisive. On the bank, the remaining pack releases sharp, urgent calls, frozen in place, their gaze fixed on the trembling surface as it settles once more. The savanna closes another chapter, reminding all that vigilance is not merely instinct. It is the condition for continuing to exist in an unforgiving natural world. A howl tears through the wind as the wolf pack surges forward like a sharp streak across the snow. They do not prevail through a single snap, but through disciplined formation, precise as a hunting machine. The pursuit tightens beat by beat, as steady pressure gradually drains the target's momentum. Each close approach narrows the options, sealing escape routes as the ring closes in. So what makes the wolf an apex force in this wilderness? The gray wolf is the embodiment of hunting discipline, ranging from icy Alaska to the snow-covered valleys of Wyoming. At around 110 pounds, its body is built for endurance, cold tolerance, and survival in temperatures below -40 degrees Fahrenheit. But the key advantage does not belong to the individual. It comes from how the entire pack functions like a precise system. Each wolf holds the right position, taking turns applying pressure until the prey is fully worn down. In the natural world, wolves stand at the top of the food chain, helping keep ecosystems in balance. On the Arctic tundra, the confrontation between wolves and a musk ox, weighing around 900 pounds, becomes a breath-holding psychological contest. When the wolf pack appears, the musk oxen do not flee. Guided by instincts shaped since prehistoric times, they immediately cluster together, forming a solid defensive circle with calves protected at the center. A barrier of sharp horns facing outward creates a living fortress that no wolf dares to challenge directly. As a result, the wolves' primary tools are not speed, but patience and the ability to generate fear. They move in wide circles, vocalizing loudly and making short, feinting lunges designed to provoke confusion within the formation. If even one individual panics and breaks position, order begins to fracture, and the fortress starts to lose its strength. In that precise moment, the wolves increase pressure, divide space, and isolate the most vulnerable target from the protective ring. Here, wolves do not overcome their opponent through force, but through time, turning fear into error. Caribou are among the most enduring athletes of the Arctic, recognized for record-breaking migrations of up to 3,000 miles each year. A fully grown male can weigh as much as 700 pounds, carrying massive antlers spanning more than 3 feet, along with a superior double-layer coat that allows survival in extreme environments. Most notably, their wide, splayed hooves, measuring about 4 inches across, function like natural snowshoes, helping sustain running speeds of up to 50 miles per hour across hazardous icy terrain. But every mile traveled comes with a heavy physical cost. As fatigue sets in, younger or weaker individuals begin to fall behind, unintentionally revealing their position to the watchful eyes of nearby wolves. For a predator, pursuing caribou is a high-risk energy gamble, leaving no room for mistakes. Using terrain that breaks up the migration route, the wolves do not rush in blindly. They move along the edges of the herd, creating disruption and weakening the tight unity that normally serves as the caribou's strongest protection. The moment one individual becomes isolated, the formation closes in. Through precise positioning and careful avoidance of powerful rear kicks, the wolves bring the encounter to a decisive end. The result provides the vital resources needed for the entire pack to survive and raise the next generation across the unforgiving tundra. Within the dense forest, the wolf pack moves silently like gray shadows, every step taken with purpose. Their target is not weak. It is a fully grown wild boar, often described as the tank of the woodland. Most striking is the boar's low defensive posture, head held down, with curved tusks extending more than 4 inches. These natural tools discourage predators and provide protection when danger closes in. The wolves understand their limits. A direct rush would risk serious injury and could end future hunting ability altogether. Instead, they surround the boar and test its responses. Younger individuals apply pressure from the front, forcing the boar to turn and pivot, while experienced wolves remain behind, carefully assessing distance and risk. After several tense minutes, when the boar continues to hold firm ground, the lead wolf signals withdrawal. In the natural world, survival always outweighs victory. Sometimes, the wisest decision is to end a hunt early, before the cost becomes too high. In North America, elk stand as a symbol of untamed vitality among the largest deer species on the planet. A fully grown male weighs around 700 pounds, stands nearly 5 feet tall at the shoulder, and carries a broad, multi-tined rack that can extend up to 4 feet. During the breeding season, those antlers do more than signal status. They also form a powerful line of defense that causes most predators to hesitate. But when winter settles over forests and mountains, the balance of survival begins to shift. Deep snow, slick terrain, and severe cold gradually transfer the advantage to wolves. They do not rush into an attack. Instead, they follow elk herds over long distances, applying steady pressure through short advances designed to read reactions. Once an individual becomes separated from the group, the wolves guide it toward an icy river, where narrow space limits movement and forces the elk to rely entirely on its antlers for defense. Here, the predators wait as time and exhaustion do the rest. After roughly 10 minutes standing in freezing water, the elk loses strength, and the wolves secure their reward with minimal effort. For a pack of around 10 individuals, bringing down an elk provides enough food to sustain the group for many days. It is a substantial reward, but one that carries real risk. In the natural world, survival favors not those who rush forward, but those who wait for the right moment. In the far northern Arctic, when temperatures reach -40 degrees Fahrenheit, hunger is silent, yet strong enough to push every step farther. For wolves, the tundra is not a battlefield, but a continuous survival equation. When hunts for large hoofed animals fail, or opportunities disappear, they are forced to shift toward smaller, faster prey. The Arctic hare, weighing around 5 pounds, becomes a viable option to maintain energy. To locate a target nearly invisible against the snow, wolves rely primarily on their sense of smell. They follow scent trails left in the wind and across the frozen surface, able to determine direction from distances of up to 1.5 miles. Once detected, the Arctic hare accelerates to nearly 40 miles per hour, constantly changing direction in sharp zigzags to break pursuit. Wolves recognize that this is not a test of endurance, but a contest of strategy across open ground. They separate positions, block escape paths, and guide the hare into a narrow trajectory where timing decides the outcome. With a bite force reaching roughly 1,200 pounds per square inch, a precise strike brings the chase to a swift conclusion. Here, survival itself is the victory. Every small hunt sharpens reflexes and forges the discipline that shapes the next generation. Bison stand as the giants that dominate the grasslands of North America. A fully grown adult can weigh up to 2,000 pounds, with massive muscles, lowering its head each day to use its neck and shoulders to sweep away deep snow and expose patches of dry grass beneath. Despite their enormous size, bison can still reach speeds of around 40 miles per hour over short distances. Their strength, sheer mass, and strong herd structure leave them with few natural threats once fully grown. But winter becomes a relentless ally to wolves. As fat reserves in bison gradually decline, the wolf pack adopts a wide, arcing formation. The ground trembles beneath thousands of hooves, while snowstorms blur vision and space. Within this confusion, wolves focus on individuals that begin to lag behind, taking turns applying pressure from the rear to drain stamina without confronting the roughly 12-inch horns or powerful hind kicks directly. The pursuit can stretch across miles, forcing the prey to face the unforgiving rules of survival shaped by nature. At times, the bison's own unity can work against it. An adult may surge forward like a living barrier, pushing a calf back toward the center of the herd. At high speed, that well-intended contact can cause the younger animal to lose balance. The wolves wait for that single moment. Though harsh, this process removes weaker individuals and helps prevent overgrazing of the plains. It remains an essential part of maintaining ecological balance across the open grasslands. African wild dogs do not rely on the strength of a single individual, but on the near absolute unity of the pack. On the savanna, speed and collective discipline form the thin line between energy, opportunity, and risk. If these strategies feel compelling, press like to support the video. Subscribe and turn on notifications so no one misses the next episodes exploring the wild world. And leave a comment about which species should be featured next.